This tutorial is about swivelling wings. I've tried it a few times and it's gone drastically wrong, so this third time lucky. The book is Winter's Tale by Robert Sabuda, and on the very first spread we have this amazing owl, and the mechanism I'm interested in is these outer parts of the wings and the way they swivel out. The further you open them, the more they open out. Quite spectacular effect to a pop-up design. There is another one which is slightly different. In this book, Dinosaurs by Robert Sabuda and Matthew Reinhardt. And in the last spread, there's this dinosaur bird, and the one I'm interested in is this bit of wing here, the way that swivels out. This is my first attempt. As you see, when you open it, it swivels, but not nearly enough. I was really dissatisfied with that, and it took me a while to figure that out. And then my second attempt was this one. The wing does swivel pretty nicely. Both of them are built onto a V-fold. The yellow piece is a V-fold. And on this one, I had a V-fold that is an acute angle V-fold that is actually standing up from the page. When the page is open, the V-fold stands up. Whereas in this one, the angles on the V-fold are the same as the angles on the page. So when the page is open, the whole thing can go flat. That is what makes the difference. So these are the pieces. This is the V-fold. I used angle 65 degrees at the bottom, and there'll be 65 degrees on the page as well. And then you come up, and where there's this counterfold, folds in, that piece is going down, and that gives you this mountain fold that you can then build this little double triangle. This is the same mechanism that is in moving arms circular motion. It's tutorial 24. It explains how this works, but it's in a different context. It's in a parallelogram. So this is 65 here, 65 up here, and 115 there. So this is how you start. The next piece, I need to follow this carefully. You stick this blue piece on. This is the shape. It glues onto this bottom small triangle that I've shaded in. It glues into that. And I've got to get this right. When I got it wrong before, it just went sadly awry. So it's like this. You've got a right angle here that's fitting into the right angle of that triangle. And if you look at this, you'll see well, I'll glue it and then I can explain it a bit more clearly. You'll see that this top line more or less follows the line of that crease there. Then there's the next piece is this red piece, which glues on like this. Now you'll see that needs to go in. When it's completely flat, you'll see that this crease on the red is following that crease on the yellow. It makes a straight line. When it's pushed in, that top bit is what the wing is going to stick onto. So now take the wing. Oh, there was one other piece actually, that this goes on like that. This is the grey piece that helps to keep the wings stable and stops it flopping down or anything as the spread closes. So I'm going to glue this piece on here as well. All looking hopefully good this time. Now we'll add the wing. That when it's open, it wants to be sticking out like this. This is a crucial test. If it goes wrong this time, trouble. It's coming up a bit higher than I wanted there. I think it must be that I've got the angles on that red piece wrong, but at the same time, it's not a bad swivel really. So if this was left flat, squashed in a pile of books for a few weeks, the whole thing would actually collapse itself, and then it would actually work better, stay flatter. and just be a really satisfactory design. I wanted to show you how this other one worked, this big bird here, the dinosaur bird. I was going to run through all the different parts of this design just so you can see this is just one small part of it. The whole thing is powered by a V-fold. This grey piece underneath it all, that is the V-fold that powers the whole thing. And when the page is flat, that V-fold is also flat. That is powering it all. And then built onto it is this parallelogram. In here are the two little triangles built into the mountain fold of the parallelogram. That is the mechanism in the moving arm turning wheel mechanism. Tutorial 24 explains how that is done. That parallelogram is built onto this grey piece, the V-fold. The wing tip is the same as the one I've just demonstrated. And then the other bits on this bird, the grey bit, the V-fold, has been extended up with this pink bit, and that gives you a gully between the parallelogram and the pink bit, and into that, this is a parallel fold. The V-fold is tutorial 2. The parallelogram is tutorial 5. The symmetrical parallel fold, which is this blue piece, that's tutorial 6. The counterfolds that have been used to make the head of the bird, that's tutorial 22. This blue piece is also a parallelogram built into this gully, and this other bit of wing that folds down as you close it, that's built onto the top of that parallelogram. And this parallelogram, the folds where it's stuck to the base, here, and where it's stuck to the pink bit, they're all parallel, but the actual shape of the blue piece is a curve. And onto the top of that parallelogram is this yellow bit that folds up and down. This is the tail, and it's just another V-fold stuck into the gully where the pink extension on the V-fold and the parallelogram, where they join and form a gully, that's a V-fold stuck into it. That's that mechanism, the swivelling wing. A bit tricky when you include it in a design like this, but definitely worth it. And here we've got two kinds. We've got the swivelling wing and we've got the wing that flaps up and down. So really a nice design.